Thanks.
Yes, they are.
Thanks. That's you. Hi friends. Welcome to another episode of The Mind and the Martyr. Look at this. Look at all this. It's wonderful. Just kind of generally looking around, especially since new art just popped up below. So hey, haha, hi. Yeah, as you can see, despite our tweet earlier, Izzy was not able to join us today just due to life things. And as always, health and happiness always comes first with these kinds of things. So, hey, hope you're resting well. Hydrate, please. Please.
No. No.
What? How dare. But yeah, so they'll be joining us next week. We're super hyped to get involved with that. We've been brewing some interesting things in the background that I can't wait to mess with all of y'all with, basically. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into the episode today. But before we do so, there are a few folks that help keep us going here. You've already seen the Dice Envy sponsor. We also have an affiliation with Grinding Coffee, who are a Black LGBT plus owned coffee company who are amazing. They're fantastic. And they have a new thing coming out soon that they just teased. They haven't told us what it is, but I'm curious to find out exactly what on earth they've been cooking up in the background. But yeah, they do fantastic coffee, different blends, different flavors, sample packs. You can get a little bit of everything. And yeah, you can go ahead and use FWRD in checkout for a little bit of cash off your order. Frog in the throat. That goes towards helping them out as an independent business, and goes towards helping us out too. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. We are, of course, as well, a Roll20 Spotlight stream. Roll20 is an online toolset that allows you to bring TTRPGs online. They are a fantastic toolset that so many people in the space use. They're brilliant. You can go ahead and jump onto the website, sign up for free, and go ahead and just start playing straight away. You can go ahead and sign up for some of the pro packages, which will get you loads of goodies, both for players and GMs. And you can go ahead and just buy full games on there as well that are already pre-converted to Roll20, whether that be full modules like the most recent Call of the Netherdeep, or some fantastic independent games, whether that be Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Junk Shit, and the like as well. So yeah, go ahead and check them out at roll20.net. This is how we roll. Brilliant. All right. With that, let's go ahead and step into the episode here, as it was mostly just fighting last time. Y'all had an encounter with a echo, a remaining residual energy of something. You're not entirely sure what, but it was an interesting encounter with Nawi being attacked by an anchor and y'all being attacked on the boat by these creatures called the Lonely, which ended up being manifestations of something, and they were incredibly creepy and kept wanting to hug you, and not the fun kind of hugs. But you dealt with the issue, and the spirits ended up becoming unstable. The residual energy became unstable and detonated. And so this situation very quickly diffused, and you found yourselves picking up from where you left off and continuing your journey off to Tarkisa. There's a little bit more time.
I said, oh, right, Tarkisa.
Yes, Tarkisa. There's a little bit more travel in between here and there. couple more days of resting on the sea, and
I'm not.
Yes, Mara now has
rolling.
2 points of exhaustion because she did not sleep.
I'm not rolling a travel roll this time. Tag, not it.
none needed.
Great.
Mara, it's probably about 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You're lying there, kind of eyes up to the ceiling, just mulling over everything going on. It's been like this for the last couple of nights for you. Just sleep cannot seem to find you, to take you at all. This night, however, there's a slight purplish, pinkish wisp that kind of flies over your head. Just a small little spattering of color in the already pretty drafty room in here. Seems to just duck over your head, across your body, and floats away and off up the stairs and outside to the deck of the ship itself. There's a weird tug, an intrusive thought almost of just this curiosity, almost beyond your rational mind, and just this sudden thought that pings.
Mara hops up and follows this thing.
You step up and out. There's an individual currently controlling the ship itself during the night, but other than that, the deck is pretty much empty. This individual is kind of off and just kind of sleepily leaning on the wheel, like paying just enough attention to be doing their job, but nothing much. The wisp takes you, however, to the front of the ship and kind of just dances a little in the wind as it goes. Continues as you kind of come up the stairs towards the front of the ship. There's a loosely familiar, translucent silhouette kind of sits at the front of the ship, lying full on the very edge with their head kind of on the jutting front part, the rest of their body just relaxed on the banister. I say loosely familiar because the general facial structure and silhouette of the individual seems to be mimicking your brother. You know for a fact that it's not them. Something a little off about this entire presentation for a start, and second of all, you know that your brother's not exactly a caster, so
Does she feel malice from this entity?
no, not particularly. There's a slight, I suppose if it was anything, it would be the slightest hint of just whimsy, almost. This individual appears just very relaxed. As soon as the wisp meets this projection, it kind of just dances around the body a little bit. And they kind of let it switch and fly between their fingers. They seem to be pretty nonchalant, to be honest, even after noticing your presence.
You have my attention. I assume that's what you wanted.
That's good. Otherwise, this would be an incredibly boring conversation. You seem to be met with troubles as of late. Don't worry, there's no one else, and we're far enough away from whoever that is. You can trust me, as poor as that statement may seem to come across.
Okay, Mara makes an insight check. I can trust you, huh? 17.
Cool. Hard to read. There's a frivolity about their actions and their conversations. They haven't even met your eye contact yet. They're still just kind of staring out into the ocean before them. But the fact that you don't sense anger or malice or any kind of associated negative emotions would push you towards the maybe.
Mara would say, well, I only trust those that I can hug.
Not the statement I was expecting to be met with. I'm not real, or this isn't real, rather. You can just pass straight through me, so.
I mean, we could go through the motions.
This is getting rather odd.
Well, you want me to trust you, right? I don't even know your name.
I'm trying to approach you with a form that you may recognize in order to show a lack of hostility, I suppose. I have seen some of your journeys, some of the things that you have done, all of you. But we have common allies and common goals. And this is just me dipping my toe in and testing the waters and seeing how you'd react to a very sudden, strange situation.
Okay, a couple of things. I'm pretty flexible. However, if you want to approach someone, don't approach them as someone they know or a loved one. That's not a way to gain trust. Maybe try a small animal, a small woodland creature, something non-threatening, or your true self. That may be better, but not imitating someone they know. That reeks of deception.
You know, that's fair. Fair enough. I shall try a small bird next time or something.
So again, your name?
You can call me. You can call me Sam for now.
Okay, Sam. You said we have allies in common? Like whom?
Allies in common indeed. As I say, I've taken a look at some of the things that you've been through, some of the problems that you have already faced, some of which that you're probably likely to face. And, well, I'll skip the fluff and the pleasantries. I heard what haunts you, what you're struggling with.
And
And
you'd like to help me?
This is all a very new experience, and I have gathered a lot of information incredibly quickly. But it would feel wrong to do nothing. At the same time, it would also feel very wrong to just rush into something with someone who I have very little understanding of. So, yes, I would like to give you what you seek. But I want
You want
to
to
make
date
sure.
first. Court?
If I've understood that concept from what I've read about your kind, I don't think that's correct. But if you want to call it that, then I suppose we could. I like for the first time the being has actually moved and you watch that form fade away. And there's now just this continual wisp of like mostly pink with shades of purple kind of spinning and manifesting into kind of just this like floating orb for a moment as I would like to give you what you seek. But I also want to make sure that you're an individual that won't change with my help. I want to make sure that you are going to be your own person, doing your own thing, following your own destiny.
Well, I have references that you could ask about me doing my own thing. Let's see. There's her queenliness. There's Kata. You could probably ask Nevin.
Not really sure who any of those individuals are, but
But I
it's
understand
very
about taking things slow. Power can corrupt.
both ways as well. I want to make sure this is a mutually beneficial agreement and that neither of us end up running into issues that would prove difficult or unwanted. I'm also very aware that this is incredibly, what do your kind call it, shady? But
Creepy?
this is
Yeah, a
kind
little
of
bit.
the
I mean-
only. I am feeling in a very strange position here because I feel simultaneously thousands of years old and also like a year. So I'm just trying to tackle this the best way I can. I'm going to be honest with you.
Are you a dragon?
Not quite. But that
An
would have been
almost dragon?
fantastic.
More than a dragon?
I could turn into a dragon, but I suppose, given some practice, but
Okay, because, well, dragons are the only people I know that are thousands of years old, and you said we had allies in common. The oldest being, well, I guess yes, the oldest being I know is a dragon. So she thinks about harmony, but she does not say harmony out loud.
just gonna do a general vibe check on Sam here real quick. I see. Not a dragon.
Okay.
Not a dragon.
So are we just gonna have a bunch of these in the middle of the night rendezvous?
You keep trying to make this a romantic thing, and it's a little. I mean,
it's not romantic. You're creepy. It's in the middle of the night. It's 2 a.m.
I don't know how this works. I don't know how any of this works.
I mean, listen, I've read a lot of books, and the only people who show up to people in the middle of the night in their dreams are usually lovers. So I don't know what to call it either. Those are the only terms I can think of.
You know what? Whatever works, works. I just wanted to. I wanted to make sure that you're the person I've seen and that there wasn't any reservations at first. But you seem yourself, you seem honest, you seem bubbly and full of energy and afraid and concerned and protective.
Yes, to all those things. That is me at my core. I didn't used to be this afraid, but a lot has happened, like you said. And you're watching me? That's kind of creepy too. Just to let you know. I'm just saying.
The orb shimmers and splits, creating this humanoid-esque form, a lot less detailed, more just kind of rough outlines on a canvas, as it were. And a strange, odd hand kind of reaches out, just presenting like almost a handshake of just, I've heard your call. I'm not promising anything concrete, but I want to help.
Well, I appreciate it. And she puts out her hand and she goes, hand hug. And she grabs his hand.
And they just slowly, like,
See, now I can trust you.
they kind of like, they just wiggle it a little and like go left and right a bit. I don't know how this works. I just saw, I saw in a book that the characters did this when they teamed up together. I don't. Pulls away. I'm also not very good at deceit. That wasn't ever really my purview. Sam was a lie. I suppose the best translation would be sanctuary.
Okay, I
That's-
100% trust you now. Our home is called Stonehaven, and I originally was going to call it Sanctuary, so we're like on the same wavelength.
There's a few other names, but that one is probably the easiest at the moment.
Wait, you said we have an ally. Do you know? Never mind. Who's the ally? I'm not allowed to say someone's name, so. But if you said it.
I think you and I both know that certain things don't need to be said to be understood.
So, did they just wake you up?
One of the first.
Well, that's a relief.
That's thanks to you all. You and your group are the only reason any of this was set into motion, so it feels right to offer what I can.
Well, as far as I know, we are just on a little vacation right now. And while the queen puts some things in motion, hopefully, to see what we can do about what's coming.
We'll see what happens.
So you're welcome to visit me whenever you like. But yeah.
I'm glad we had this talk. Let's sort out something a bit more concrete next time.
Sure, sure. Well, if you don't mind, I am now going to go get some sleep.
So you should. And as they say that, the orb of magical energy simply dulls and dissipates, and there's this kind of pink scattering of sparkles that carries across the wind and heads out across the ocean.
And she says, your sparkles are pretty, and walks back downstairs.
Carries across the waves and kind of comes up to join the rest of the wind. And for the first time in a few days, you see a clearing in the weather, the night sky. You can head downstairs.
Goes back downstairs, and she cuddles up with Shikari, and she just starts snoring. So the next morning, they're like, what the hell, Mara?
That's sleep deprivation.
Morning finds you all.
Morning.
It's a pretty uneventful day, all things considered. Until probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when there's some chatter and some murmuring between some members of the crew. One of them kind of bolts from the lower decks and up to go and talk with the captain at the helm. You feel a sense of determination and concern almost as the captain, sir, just very slightly and subtly adjusts the course of the vessel.
Like,
yeah, it's a very small adjustment. It's not like, hey, yeah, no, we're going like this way now, bye. But for those of you who are familiar with navigation, and for those of you who are have traveled on vessels before, it's noticeable.
Something wrong, Captain? Please don't tell me there are more lost out there.
The lonely.
Lonely, yes. The lonely.
Only the lonely.
He doesn't say anything and simply points forwards to the front of the ship. And as he does so, and you kind of look in that same direction, at the very edge of the distance is a ship with a distress flag flying.
Do we recognize this as a distress? Is this a universal knowledge thing? Do we know this?
Anyone who has been on like vessels at some point, sailors like to make sure that their passengers know what flags mean what in case they come across anything.
We got the safety.
So it's very much like a,
procedure.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the exits are here, here, and here. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this isn't like sailor knowledge. In this instance, this is one of the very common flags that are in use.
Now he just lets everyone know. I won't jump off the boats in some way this time, unless we need me to.
No, let's try to stay on the boat just in case.
I am very sorry.
Is this the immediately the fall? Wow. Is this the following day from when we encountered the lonely?
Or has it been a
Yes.
couple of
Okay.
days? Okay.
Okay, it is the following day though.
But we've had a long rest and no longer exhausted, right?
Oh yeah. You had your rests. Everything's like reset on that degree.
But the pets are still exhausted by 2 points.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
My Jacaranda's original plan today was to cast Hollow on the ship. So that takes 24 hours. So that's what Jack's doing.
Jacaranda's downstairs, like.
Wax on, wax off.
And I would have Shikari stay down there with Jacaranda and rest. It's like, you rest, Shikari. If anything happens, I got this.
Dawn is going to ask the captain if there is a spyglass available. I was like, telescope, periscope, spyglass.
By family.
You just get handed a spyglass from like one of the random sailors. There's a few of them about.
I figured it's a ship on the sea. And
How long is it?
It's
The one just
like...
continues. Okay, yeah. You go ahead and grab a spyglass from someone, and the primary thing you notice, Jesus Christ, this ship is big. This thing is huge. It is gorgeous. It is decadent. It is incredibly well looked after. It is armed to the nine hells. It is an incredibly impressive vessel, and seems to have been going the same direction that you were until something went wrong. It's very much in the same trajectory to Takiza.
Do we see anything obvious, like
yeah, I was gonna say, is there like
the hole or tentacle laying across the deck, or
people running around on deck? Like, is the water churning with the spilt blood of sailors? Like, what is it? Just an empty ship?
Roll perception.
I can do this.
27.
I'm just gonna roll without a spyglass. I only got a 19.
That's a grand total of 11.
You got a dirty spyglass.
No, it's one of those little short ones.
Focus it.
I don't
You
know
just
how
get
to
distracted.
use this.
Yeah, you get distracted by like the use of the item, and then like you see like, oh, there's some really nice carvings around the outside. And, like, oh, it's really.
You know when you like use a spyglass or anything that zooms in and it takes you a second to like orient like where the hell it's that. Like Dawn is just like, I thought I would like take the spyglass down and stare at it, pull it back up. I can't. Where is the ship?
So Nawe, without the use of a spyglass, I'm kind of looking around just the general vicinity of the ship and the ocean and the waves around you. Nothing particularly. God damn it. Yeah, nothing particularly grabs you as like immediate danger. There's no like bodies in the water. There's no like no blood. There's no like big kraken creature. It's just the ship itself. Mara, what was your perception?
27.
27.
Her
Okay.
eyes turn into spyglasses.
Just do. Okay. So with the 27, again, you kind of catch the same kind of gist as Nami here. Having been on some more advanced ships yourself, rather than just kind of your regular sailing vessels, though, you pick up on a few kind of like very subtle flashes of blue color across the ship itself, on the actual deck of the ship. It seems to be under control. It's not like a flame like ravaging across. It just looks like the cinders or the remains of an accident.
She would point this out. They look like they've had some sort of an accident. But you said people were running around or walking around?
There's evidence of people having been on the ship recently, but without a spyglass, you're too far away to tell.
And how far are we from the ship?
It would have just come into sightline as the captain kind of pointed away. So like a pretty significant distance still.
Like, I mean, more than 500 feet?
Yeah, like
probably.
if I were to give my spyglass to Mara, could that help out distinguish anything?
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
You'll need to. Mara will need to roll again, as you're now using an apparatus.
If you'd like to roll again, Mara.
Sure. I will try to use this fancy icon.
Yeah, Darwin just hands it, just shoves it off. Like, I can't use this thing. All I see is now he's
25.
butt. There you go.
25. Okay.
I mean, the bottom of the ship.
Now he just winks.
Jesus. Yeah, you take the spyglass, take a look, and there are indeed a few individuals individuals who seem to be on the top deck, mostly in armor. They also seem to be like decked out to the nine hells. You would recognize the sheen of adamantine armor anywhere. These individuals are very, very much decked out. And they seem to be, some of them seem to be huddled talking to each other. A few of them seem to be using either water or some kind of magics to deal with the last of whatever damage has occurred here. You see burn marks across sections of the center of the ship that have kind of skidded and spattered, but have been brought under control.
Are they anchored?
No, they seem to just be adrift.
So she would tell them what she saw. That the guys on that ship are in full armor. Like, is it? You said it's like plate armor?
Yeah, adamantite plate. So incredibly expensive.
What could
Do
they?
we-
I
Are
don't
they
think
too
they're
heavy?
sailors. Do I see any?
Is there? Yeah. Are they flying any flags other than the distress flag? Like, is
Right.
there any signifying?
Right. Because I'm a noble background.
I
know
lots
things
of
like-
history.
With the
The houses
Yeah.
of everywhere.
I'd say with the 25, like you can see a flag has been pulled down from the mast and has been replaced with whatever this flag, this distress flag is. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a history check? And if you're gonna let the one know about it as well, how you can definitely roll history there too.
I will say, hey, Dwan, they have this fancy smancy flag that they put down, and
Describes the
she will
banner.
describe it. And that did not help. 11. I got an 8 the first time and then 11 the second time. But she would still tell Dwan what it looks like.
I got a 24.
A 24. Okay.
This must not be
Yeah.
from Endear because it's this. And we don't wear shiny titanium or adamantium armor.
I thought you were gonna say shiny tights. We don't wear shiny tights.
The
Oh no, those wear.
the general like flag itself, as it's described, is a mixture of like usual like ocean iconography, mixed with these long curved blades, which kind of the epicenter of the curves hit the center and then come outwards. Far more curved than a scimitar, probably closer to like the bend of like a khopesh, like an Egyptian blade. Not quite like the same design, but that curve is very similar. Dewan, you have probably only read about this flag, even in your travels.
I mean, I'm a sage. I did a lot of reading.
Considering it comes from the literal other side of the world. This is the flag of the Revalier Castigan Defense Force, which are rather, a defensive military force that has existed in coalition with multiple nations for a very, very long time. It's a very adept and well-funded group of individuals that are essentially like a private military of sorts, but instead of being for hire, they just protect multiple areas at the same time. They are incredibly good at what they do. They and their force were what single-handedly held the Castigan Ocean during the War of the Shadow Scale. They are incredibly adept individuals.
Damn, Dewan's reading a lot. I didn't know any of those words.
Oh, an honorable defense force, right? We haven't heard anything shady about them.
No.
Not like a Magic Carnum kind of thing where it's
no,
like,
no. These folks are purely here to protect areas to ensure that forces beyond the control of like a regular military are kept in check, basically. So they kind of do a little bit of everything. They deal with planar incursions. They deal with like, corrupt military forces. They've dealt with pirates. They've dealt with everything in between. So yeah, no, they are small and elite and actually good folks.
I would just go let Jacaranda know what's going on, because they're downstairs, like, doing a... Can you be interrupted during a ritual, or would that, like, ruin it?
I can probably, like, lightly, like, discuss things. Like, I have to walk around and stuff, so
Yeah.
I can probably, like, listen.
It's like when your mom's cooking.
I was
and, like,
saying, I feel
like,
you
she can, like,
hear.
she can, like, talk to you, but she'd rather you weren't talking.
Yes, exactly. 100% exactly that.
I would, yeah, we wouldn't have seen, but I would just, like, let you know what's happening, so you're not like, why is the boat stopping?
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Just if things get bad, I guess I won't say come back down, but just maybe scream, or someone scream loudly, and I will know, and I'll come up.
If it gets bad, I will just tell Lupa to get you.
Oh yes, that.
Can I help with anything? Do you want me to get... Oh, I could get that
No,
flower.
it's fine. It's thank you.
Okay.
Trying to keep the mom vibe going.
Yeah. I'll go back upstairs.
And Mara would say to Dewan, I wonder if they're going to clear out Tarkeza, because we heard it was kind of a shady town.
But they're flying distress flags, so wouldn't that mean that they are currently in distress?
Oh, they're currently in distress, but I wonder if that's where they were headed, to clear out Tarkeza. I mean, we can't do anything for them until we get closer. But I'm wondering if that's where they were
Captain,
headed.
how long until we get closer enough to see what's going? To hail them. That's the thing, right?
Quick, text the like all sailor group chat real quick. They probably have one somewhere.
Yeah, all sailors have a ring of
Yeah,
mind
All
shield.
sailors are connected.
Listen,
to the
I'm just
same-
saying, the Ring of Mind Shielding is maybe the most useful uncommon magic item in the entire game. Everyone should just, like, it should just, you're level 1, you get an uncommon item. It should be Ring of Mind Shielding. It's just incredible. No one can read your mind, which is a whole fucking thing, low levels, and they can't tell if you're lying. Deception check. No, I have Ring of Mind Shielding. I don't actually need to do
No.
that.
Well,
But-
and didn't we say that, like, they can be or was that an extra enchantment that they can be disguised? Or is that part of the Ring of...
That's part of it.
That's part of it. You can make it
Yeah,
invisible.
so
Yep.
it's
You can make it invisible.
They
so,
wouldn't
like,
even know
someone
that
tries
you have
to
it.
read your mind and they're like, Bella?
Suspiciously blank.
You're like, are you telling the truth? I don't know, am I? And they're like, I can't.
I don't know, are you?
I'm an orange elephant. No?
Cool. Yeah. So the captain's still trying to direct his men, and you see a few individuals scattered across the sails that seem to be using these like small handheld wind magics to try and speed themselves up. He not entirely sure, but well, we're getting there as soon as we can. Shouldn't be more than a few minutes, fingers crossed. Don't really have anything on this ship to communicate remotely, so we're probably just gonna have to get close enough to actually yell at someone.
I can talk very loud.
That might be helpful in this situation.
Mara turned to Dewan. Oh, when we are within 500 feet, I could get me and maybe you over there so that you, if they need healing. I can't tell. They're in big old armor.
Wait,
They look like big refrigerators.
wait, if
Ice
someone's
boxes.
going over, shouldn't I could swim over there?
No,
Not-
you you get to
not-
stay on the ship this time.
Not until we
Wait.
get closer, first of all.
I don't want you to go.
I'll have Mara with me. I'm not going alone.
I don't want Mara to go either. You
Um,
two looked very upset when I came back to the ship.
But also, if Jacaranda's busy doing her ritual, the only person I trust to truly protect her is you.
And we have to all stay on the ship, it's final.
What if
Well-
someone's injured? No.
Right. That's why I was suggesting Dewan, because she can heal, but I can only take one person with me.
Well, if you go, you have to promise to tell me if something is wrong.
Of course, I'll let you know as soon as I can. And also, this is how
Text me when
I
you get
feel
home.
when you leave me.
I said sorry.
It doesn't feel great, no, does it?
No.
Okay.
Moving forward.
If Jacaranda wasn't busy, I would have asked Jacaranda so that Dewan.
No,
could-
it
The
makes
one
sense.
is just stay at home
Okay.
cleric now.
Jack is deciding that Hollow can wait and is just gonna come up. She doesn't understand what's happening and doesn't want to leave everybody dealing with something while she's gone.
It does take 24 hours, doesn't it? It's a
Yes,
long
it
time.
takes 24 hours.
Also, like a ritual, the ritual casting of a spell also includes the amount of time you need to rest in that ritual in order to not, get exhausted and screw something up. So,
Yeah, there's no way they
anything
would
that's
expect you
like
to there's no way they
Just
expect you
cast
to do it for a
full
whole day.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
get a level
So,
of
like,
exhaustion.
a 24-hour ritual, like you can hit pause on that and pick it up again later. Like,
Okay.
The
So that's good.
there's a sense of realism to it. Like they're not gonna make you sit there and actually
For
cast
24
magic for 24
Yeah.
hours.
the elderflower has to finish reducing, so
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, I can help now. Hello? Everybody's. Are you all quiet now?
yeah. now he
Mark
just
turns around
looks.
and goes. Mark turns around. Okay, but I don't know if they have plants over there.
If they have what?
Plants.
Plants to heal.
If
This
Jacaranda
is Mara.
is
Jacaranda is a
cleric.
plant healer.
Jacaranda has
Why would
healed
they
us.
need plants? It's okay. I have enough plants for everybody.
Okay.
Now
Well, the
that
wood was
you're-
on fire.
Yeah, now that you're on the top deck, actually, Jacaranda, go ahead and roll me a nature check, please.
The boat's fucking alive.
That'd be awesome. There's this
Not
series by Anne McCaffrey.
Roll
The boats are made out of dragon.
20.
Yo.
So whatever this is, whatever nature thing this is, I know what it is.
Okay. So you're a little closer to the ship now, just everyone in general. As I say, this thing is huge. It's probably about 3 times the size of like a full galleon vessel. This thing is significant. You can see a lot of the metal and wood construction across, and embossed against the front section of the ship is the Millennium. Jacaranda, with that nature check, this isn't ordinary wood. This is a wood that you've actually come into contact with before that is far sturdier, far lighter, far more powerful in a lot of different regards, and has an incredible tolerance to certain damage and certain elements.
Ooh.
You would recognize the very rare redwood that is found in Laughing Color, specifically from one of the three sisters, the sacred trees.
I don't like that. I mean, I feel like you shouldn't be cutting down sacred trees.
It's a case of it's very common for those trees to shed materials.
Okay.
Or like from the understanding that you've gathered from your other travels, these three primordial individuals who make up who the trees actually are, they do tend to shed materials. You saw one shed materials and become a volcano. The one that remains in Lathankala occasionally sheds their wood, and that's used for the Crimson Wood oak weapons and things like that. So it's not like they've gone ahead and just mangled the tree, but it's rare, it's expensive, and it's powerful.
Okay. And then that makes me think that I know where they're from, or at least where the ship is from.
Or at the very
From
least, where a
Lathankala.
lot of the materials were sourced.
Okay. I will keep that to myself. It doesn't seem like something everybody would care about, but
so are people going to the ship? Are we close enough? What's happening?
How close are we?
Once you get close enough, the captain will eventually have to stop because to try and get to the deck of this ship, you're gonna have to go ahead and climb all the way up and then have a ladder dropped and climb up, because this thing is a lot taller than your current vessel. So you're gonna be approaching that kind of point eventually. So, but during your entire approach, you don't really hear anything until you're close enough to kind of look up at the ship deck itself. You see a few of these armored individuals just kind of muttering to themselves, getting frustrated. A few of them are running off trying to fix something. There's a very high tension in the air.
So they're in trouble. What's happening?
We're not sure. We saw it looks like there was some sort of explosion on deck. But this is the Revalier Defense Force, who apparently are nice guys. That protect realms. I don't know why they would be in full plate armor on a ship, but
that seems dangerous.
Hey Ray, are
right.
there any birds or fish or anything around?
It's interesting you say that, actually. There are plenty of fish around, but at this point you're so far out into the ocean that whatever birds you would have encountered are on a mission. They're going somewhere. You haven't seen any birds during a lot of your travel here, but looking up at where the deck is, you do notice this large vulture perched on one of the sections of the vessel.
Of ours?
Of their vessel, sorry.
Oh, fucking hey, that's not what I need.
It seems to be like its head seems to be cocked. It seems to just be watching all of you with a curiosity.
How far are we from their boat?
How far do you need to be?
I mean, like, for it to hear me to hear it if I'm gonna speak with animals.
God, yeah.
But if we're that close, then people can probably see that might want a dimension door or anything.
That is. Yeah, you'd be able to hear it.
I speak with animals. Hey, come here.
The vulture's head cocks.
Come, please, over here. Hey, I know you heard me.
Looks back, and then opens up its wings and just gently glides on down, and kind of lands on like the banister to the side of you, knowing.
2 things. 3. What is your name? What happened over there? And do you mind if I look through your eyes?
That's an interesting set of questions. All right. 1, I don't really have one.
Okay.
2, what was the second one again?
What is going on that ship?
An accident that has stopped things from moving. I don't know the details. And 3, sure, I'm fine with it. My
tapped them.
Might not be.
I tapped them on the beak because they say they're fine with it. And I use beast sense. Okay, no, go back.
It's all fuzzy. All right.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Today just gets weirder and weirder.
So I can
opens up its wings.
I'll put a hand on Dewan's shoulder as I can't hear or see out of my senses as I see and hear through theirs now.
Mm-hmm.
And
all right.
Mara would put out her hand to check around. Shall we go see if they need help? Or what type of help they need? Obviously, they need help. They put out a distress flag.
Yes, I'm sure we can help. Just us being there will be beneficial. Moral support.
She takes your hand.
Okay.
And a door opens. And go to the front of the ship.
I carry Mara through the open threshold.
Incredible.
Yes.
We'll all become girlfriends eventually.
Please holler if you need help. We'll be down here.
Oh, I will let you know. Point at the invisible ring.
I'm going to assume your ring is on that finger.
And then we're
Wonderful.
gone.
Oh, so this is how this plays out.
Oh.
So the vulture comes up and crests over and begins to kind of rise up and takes just a general view of the deck area here for you, Noe. There is not as many people as you would expect up here on a ship this big. All of them in some kind of armor, whether that be the adamantite plates or whether that be some of them are in more kind of like heavily enchanted armor. You can see a lot of like the runes and stuff stretched over. There's individuals wearing dragon scale armor. There's some individuals who are using what appear to be enchanted weapons. There's adamantite weapons. There's a lot here. And the vulture flies for just a little while before you hear, to me, the vulture suddenly, like, you almost feel them get a little rigid as they stand to attention and begin this dive towards the back section of the ship.
I'm narrating all this to Dewan and explaining that I can't hear her whatsoever.
Standing with an arm out, just waiting for the vulture to land, is this very, very tall Air Genasi woman. She's probably like 7'4", 7'5". in this full black, like adamantite plate slash like enchanted full armor getup. Very tall, very well built in terms of like very muscular. Probably, if you were to hazard a guess, probably early 30s, with this kind of cut fringe white hair that's tied up at the back. She stands there. Just as the vulture is coming in, it suddenly panics as there's this gateway opening of energy. The vulture goes ahead and flies off course a little as the dimension door ends and the two of you
Incredible.
land.
Oh my god.
The two of you land. Nawi, the last thing you see before just looking at ocean is Jacaranda and Mara on the deck, and this individual just suddenly, with one hand, pulls out this large, long blade, and with the other hand pulls out this very intricate pistol and just levels it directly towards both of you.
and then wait, does the vulture disapparate or something?
No, the vulture's bolting. The vulture is afraid.
Dipped.
Yeah. The vulture is afraid of the magic and just
Please
dipped.
Go ahead and do their thing. I think you can expect what Naoi's up to, so.
Can I just say that as you're narrating this and you're still experiencing, like, you're like, oh, there's a woman with pulled out a gun and is leveling it up. I'm like, no!
You called for help. We are answering that call. We can leave if you'd like.
You're aware that there's things such as hello and we're here to help rather than just bolting onto someone's ship. But
this is my first real ship journey, so no. Do you need help?
oh, you're lovely.
Mar just lets Jacaranda do the talking. She goes in seconds. She's just like, yes.
She just,
You're the one with all the charisma.
There's this
She
moment
just
where like
loves
the
when
toughness. There's this moment where the toughness breaks away, and she does literally just go, "Oh, you're lovely. Bless your heart." Yes, we were indeed in the middle of a situation, and assistance would be most certainly appreciated. It would be a very good idea forthwith to not suddenly appear in front of people, however. That might end up, if I had an itchier finger, then that could have caused problems.
Oh, we're pretty tough.
I'm sorry, is that a threat?
No, I just mean, I don't think an accident would have ended poorly for us immediately.
Mar's just smiling.
I mean, it would have been unfortunate. I wouldn't want that to happen, and I wouldn't want to have to react to that happening. So I'm glad that it didn't. I just mean that we are capable, and if it did happen, it probably could have been sorted out before it got too bad. What did you need help with? I'm sorry.
Mar just smiles bigger.
I appreciate your confidence. I'm assuming you were a part of that smaller vessel that we saw a few moments ago. We lost track of it, considering the situation we're currently under. So, very well. puts the pistol down, attaches it back to the belt there, whips the blade back into its sheath. Captain Belladonna, the pleasure is everyone's, it seems.
Mara Katani, and this is Jacaranda. So what happened?
Just kind of staring at Jacaranda for a moment, and just the irony is palpable. We ended up clashing into a rather difficult situation involving our generator. Seems to have been some kind of influx of energy caused by something, I'm not entirely sure, that, well, overloaded the system, and unfortunately, we don't have a lot of spare parts. We've been on a rather long and arduous journey, and we're just about to go ahead and restock when this happened, and not many of our individuals on board are capable casters, nor are they capable mechanics. So we are adrift for the meantime.
What type of part are you needing? She's thinking, we got a little dinghy. What do you need? And none of us are artificers, so.
At the moment, well, just to attempt to keep things simple and to avoid the technobabble, the engine works on a loop, magical energy spinning around, chasing itself. When that cracks and breaks, well, the energy dissipates, the magic vanishes. So currently, we need either a way to seal up the actual physical containment. We need a way to fill this thing full of magic again, or both, preferably both.
Well, we definitely can mend the container. Just any type of magic?
I mean, anything just to get us to the next port where we can go ahead and actually get a hold of someone who knows this technology better than we do.
Daban, they have a container they need mended.
Like a jar?
Like a engine block? I don't know, something that holds magical energy that... I'm not an artificer.
What material is the container made of?
Slight mixture of things, mostly metal. Some organic components here and there, wood and the like, but the container itself is mostly metallic. The damage it had done to the area is mostly damage to our hull itself, so wood. It was quite the detonation.
Was anyone hurt? Are you in need of healing?
Ironically, yes. Not myself, but a few of my crew were injured. Unfortunately, a few of the medical crew themselves were the ones injured, so...
That we can definitely help with.
We're rather low on medical know-how, and that's certainly not my particular forte.
What
Do you
what do you do?
I am the...
Besides shooting, and I know you have the sword. Poisons?
Not quite. and she smiles as she has like this kind of like air genasi like markings around her forehead that kind of come down, curl at the cheeks, and then continue downwards. She smiles at you, this very wide grin. The markings begin to kind of glow a little, and you see two very large incisors.
Oh, okay.
I have skills that make both flight, travel, and combat a lot easier, and that's why I rose through the ranks and got this position in the first place.
Well, it's always nice to meet a capable, strong lady in power. So who needs healing?
There's like incessant mind knocking on your brains. Hello, Mara?
Out of character, Ray, could the sunstones that Jacaranda have be used for a power source? Wasn't that one of the things we were told when we found
I
them?
don't remember.
They're magical, so there's a possibility. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she would mention that to Jacaranda. They might be able to use one of your sunstones if you would want to give them to them, but that's up to you. But you said Dewan was incessantly saying stuff?
I'm just not. Yeah, because last I heard, there was a gun leveled at you, and then you were asking if the container was broken.
Yeah, container's broken.
Wait, but
I know you can mend stuff because you fixed the queen's window. So
I can mend this. Is someone still pointing a gun at you? Are you okay?
Oh no, we're fine. They just didn't like us showing up unannounced. It was okay.
Now he's
Jacaranda
narrating
handled it.
like ocean, like there's more ocean, there's more ocean.
Are you like aware of? You can't see or hear, but can you like feel on your body, or is it you're just your daughter?
No, I can feel.
Oh, okay. Then you feel like Dawn shaking you now.
Oh, yes, yes.
I think at the first sign, or at the second statement of ocean, that was your cue to leave the vulture. But
Well, then how will I know which went?
does it matter?
Yes?
Our
Mara would say, could you lower like a rope or like a plank down to the other ships? Our friends can come up and help you.
You have other allies. Okay, that's good to know. Lower the ladder.
Hey, Nari, didn't you say you have a very loud voice? You should let them know we're down here, just to pinpoint.
Okay. I just need to express it is not thaumaturgy. She's just like really good at shouting. So she shouts, "Hey, there are people down here. I forgot you had a gun. Also,
Like the ladder just unfolds.
should we go? Is it safe? You think? I've only seen 2 guns before.
Did you relay that people needed healing? You just said that something needed to be fixed. There's something that needs mending. I guess.
Wait, what happened to the gun?
I don't. Apparently, everything is okay.
Oh, okay. I start going up the ladder.
Are the 2 ships just like evenly paced now? Like, I guess the ship is not moving, so we are anchored.
Yeah, your ship is now anchored. The other one is not moving, but it's not anchored. It's kind of just generally adrift. But the water is pretty still currently. It's also very heavy, so you know.
Yes, it's very heavy because it's got 200 people in plate armor on it. So
It's also like the body of the ship itself is a mixture of like actual like armor metal plates and wood. This is a warship. This is like this thing's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go up the ladder.
I will follow
Go
up
ahead.
behind.
Climb your way on up. You see the same that you had seen through the vulture eyes here, like scars and scratches of and like burn marks of where some kind of like blue flame had ripped through the ship at one point that has now been pretty much fully contained. There's a few individuals that are still kind of trying to get rid of the last of it, but it's safe by all means. There's a lot of these individuals, like fully helmeted, plate mail, etc. There's a few more scouty-esque individuals in leather with like their hair tied back. He knocks off his headphones. Good job. And yeah, the very top, like back section of the ship, there you see Mara and Jacaranda with this individual, Captain Belladonna, as they.
I forgot to mention Mara's actually in a bathing suit because
She's
before we
Vacation.
came upon the ship, she was sunbathing
it was
because
a
it was
nice-
actually clear for once.
and she was well rested, like
right,
of course.
she didn't put on her studded leather.
Amazing.
He's just like carrying a
Amazing.
sword with you.
Yeah, she just
So
has
Captain Belladonna with the sword, the gun, it's like a tree person basically naked and somebody in a
And a
swimsuit.
tree.
1 second. Now he's also in a swimsuit.
It's this is our vacation.
That one is dressed how she usually is dressed. I would just like to say that.
Now he is in a swimsuit purely to make Dewan nervous.
I feel like
That was her
no.
only intention getting up this morning.
Now he like climbs on top of the deck. There's a
Mhm.
pause, and then a very red-faced Dawan slowly just like a hot and flustered Dawan is like, so there's something that needs mending. Eyes like straight ahead.
You had a gun.
Captain smiles and tucks a little bit of white hair behind her ear. She just says,
Oh no.
"This could be more interesting than I thought after all." And just shoots a look to Dewan and like just chuckles a little to herself before turning to you now and just, yes, I do. Is that going to be a problem?
No, I say words a lot. And they just sort of come out like
Mars is just sitting there with a smile again.
like just now, like you like you pulled out a gun on people?
She goes ahead and pulls it from her belt, spins it between her fingers and just lets it kind of like spin there for a moment, catches it, and tosses it towards you. Just, if you break it up,
Is that a promise or?
it's most certainly a promise.
Let's off the ship for a second.
Mara's smile
What?
gets even bigger.
Uh,
So you had people that are hurt.
Hurt?
yeah, you
Hurt people? People are
you
hurt.
said you needed help with things and stuff.
Yes, she pauses for a moment before picking up a very as opposed to like the well-fitting armor she has here, she has this very stereotypical like feathered tricorn hat. She goes ahead and places on her head, tucks her hair back a little bit, kind of adjusts it for a moment, and she says, "Yes, no, of course. follow me, and we'll take point. And as she steps past, there's kind of like the little clicks of her heels on the on the deck itself as she steps down. And now seeing her back, you realize the entire time you've been talking, she has this huge decorative and gilded some kind of like rifle-esque firearm that's been strapped to her back this entire time. She will go ahead and begin to step down into the ship itself.
I mean, I follow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. She continues down and kind of just begins speaking. The ship's been around for a while, but it's been incredibly well taken care of. We've survived far worse than this, thankfully, but it appears whatever happened here messed with our existing systems. Continue on down through here, and the first step down, it's kind of just like this empty-ish space. Very clearly an area to keep parts and supplies, but they are also very clearly running low. So there's a lot of like boxes that have been torn apart and used as spare parts themselves and the like, a lot of galvanized stuff. She continues down 2 more floors before stepping forwards into this very large corridor. The interior itself is also this mixed plated metal and wood combination. Steps down into this large, almost like submarine door. There's this large circular locking mechanism on the front. And she rather effortlessly just grabs a hold of it and just spins it around, pulls it on open, and you see what can only really be described as a very not fantasy image before you. This is definitely more of the kind of thing that you would see in Patham, for example, where artificers and creators are far more common. There is this large collection of pipes and tools and sections of metal that kind of just continue across and feed into the rest of the ship. There's pipes going forward and back all the way across, and in the center is this what was once probably glass, completely shattered, burn marks across the floor, burn marks across the ceiling, and this strange like hexagonal shaped core in the center.
What happened to you?
This was the overload I was talking about. Again, to keep it as simple as I can, essentially, this points towards the hexagon. This is where magic is stored. It's chasing itself, gathers energy, and it sits here and feeds that energy out to everything else. When we were struck by whatever wave we had to deal with, it broke the loop, and the magic decided to get rid of itself with explosive results.
Mara has questions. So first she says, so why were you traveling without a mechanic who can fix this type of thing? Or were they one of the people that were hurt?
We've been on this vessel for a very long time, having dealt with a few assignments that I can't talk about, as I'm sure you can respect. One of the individuals that was tasked with keeping the maintenance on this ship going, he and his group were sent to go and assist another of our vessels that unfortunately didn't make it. So we've been traveling without a maintenance crew since then. We've probably
Yeah.
been 4, 5 months at this point.
Okay, that's poor planning on someone's part. Do you suspect sabotage?
No, unlikely. The pulse of energy was very obvious. I only know a limited amount of magic, but even I could feel how powerful and strange it was, so I assume it's some kind of external factor.
Wait, when did this happen?
Some point yesterday, probably?
Oh.
There's strange music.
You know, I didn't notice any strange music, but
Was there like a fog thing?
was rather cloudy on the oceans yesterday, yes.
It's the ghost thing. Do you not know about the ghost thing?
The walk of the drowned.
I'm aware of the Walk of the Drowned, yes. I've been to Tarkisa a few times.
Yeah, it was probably that.
I've never quite seen it manifest in such a aggressive way before, but
So that wasn't normal.
It was pretty aggressive.
What we fought yesterday.
I fought a boat.
Belladonna just looks at you, and then looks at Nahui, and then looks back to you.
I told you we're sturdy and we're capable.
I'm not usually in a bathing suit, but that still is odd that you didn't have a mechanic out on the ocean for 5 months and all of this happening.
You don't have like a backup mechanic?
You
By the way,
can't call home and get someone.
ET
A
phone.
lot of our staff and a lot of our some of our medics, some of our other soldiers, they have basic understanding of contraptions and magic and the like, but a full-on repair like this, one, we didn't have the parts, even if we wanted to fully fix things, and two, as I say, things are difficult and complicated after we lost those members of our crew, so...
Is someone being sent now? Dawan is smart. I don't know if she knows what this thing is to fix it.
I don't necessarily need to know what it is, but I can at least fix its exterior. I won't be able to return any magic to it. I don't know what fuel source you need.
I had an idea about that. As she turns to Jacaranda.
Well, we can try, but if first let's get it mended. And the power, the surge that happened, how far does the magic go through the ship? Is it just to move the ship forward? Is it pretty usually kept down below? I'm just thinking for safety measures, perhaps an anti-magic field around, so then if it happens again, an explosion wouldn't get to the whole ship, it would be contained.
Something perhaps to go ahead and chat with the engineers with and the artificers with, I think. We are hoping to simply get the repairs done to approach Tarkisa, rest there, contact the people we need to contact, and get some staff that, well, actually know what they're doing, as opposed to us just firing blindly into the darkness. But yes, I think that's a good idea.
Well, let me mend this, and then if you could point me to the injured, I'd be happy to heal them as well. And so Dawn will cast mending.
Okay. You begin your work on this strange device. Mara, why don't you go ahead and make me an Arcana check in the meantime as well, just Just out of curiosity.
Mara knows all things.
I know all
14.
things until I don't. Okay. You've seen a few mechanisms like this before, but you can't exactly quite pinpoint where and for what purpose. But there are a few vessels that you've been on, probably like one or two other vessels that have a similar propulsion system, as it were, in place. Tends to be the primary way of locomotion, and then secondary would be the more traditional, just, all right, engines down, bring out the sails, we're moving. Like,
Right, but this ship is so heavy, it's not moving anywhere.
exactly that, yeah. As the one kind of begins to work on this, Belladonna will actually go ahead and... Sorry, go ahead.
Turn to Nawi and said, well, in case this doesn't work, can you go and see like if there's like a really big fish that we could ask to maybe push them to port?
Yes, I
was
do that
thinking
immediately.
they could go on our ship. Some people could just go on
They're
our
not
ship.
going to leave this spendy ship here
No,
unattended.
but I mean some people. Not we couldn't take everybody, but if some people go with, we make sure they have food.
Maybe the
And
most injured can come with
water.
us.
And then we can take the few that need to go, and then they can contact who they need to once we get where we're going. And we can always bring them back on our return trip, or I don't know, because I don't know if a very large fish. It seems a very heavy ship.
Like a whale?
I can't express. Now he left as soon as you asked
no,
him to
I
go
already
do something.
Belladonna will turn
There's this
around.
dragon turtle just hanging out, you know?
Yeah.
Sure,
I'll fucking roll for it.
Fucking Kraken comes. You called.
Need a lift?
Oh my god. Welcome to Kraken Uber.
Listen, Mara is a
Uber.
Disney
Can I
princess. You
offer
always
a
ask
hand
the critters for
or
help.
5, 6?
Good lord.
You can finish fixing the thing first, but I am going to look for a fish.
Belladonna turns to Jacaranda specifically, and kind of as this is going on and this little discussion is happening, she will lean in a little bit and just... So I don't suppose you actually know anyone who would be able to put in those modifications? Someone trustworthy, at the very least. I would appreciate if the folks back home, so to speak, knew as little about this accident as possible.
Well, I do know one person good with magic. Their name is Kata, and they run a shop. I don't know how. I don't know how the ship would get there. But maybe.
Not here.
Oh. That's the most magical person I know.
I would rather not owe Carter a favor. So...
I can say it's for me. I don't mind owing a favor.
That one's gonna pipe up. You could say Mara demanded it.
Kind of leans right in so only you can hear Jacaranda. Just, okay, so I know that we just met, but also I owe you my life. Kind of chuckles a little to herself and pulls back a bit. If you were willing to do this for me, then that would be incredibly appreciated. You certainly owe us nothing, so whatever would you like in return?
Well, I don't know yet, but I will. I'm sure something will come up at some point.
Very
So
well.
what am I asking Kata for?
Anti-magic force field around it, within like a certain amount, so that if it explodes again, the magic doesn't destroy the ship. It's only the
Yes, protective shield, so
yes.
they'd be able to build around it.
And do you want him to come to Tarkeza to install it? Or does the ship fly and you can just fly to Ensaya and get it installed?
It used to fly. I don't know whether it still will after that situation. That's damage control that I'll have to check into.
Oh,
this
so
is
I don't have to ask him right now? Because I could ask him right now.
At the moment, my primary concern is just getting us back to port so that I can get my people food and drinks and rest.
I can make you food.
Well, let me ask Kata what kind of magic we can use to at least get us going. So Mara starts talking to Kata. Hey, Grandpa.
Oh my gosh.
She started calling him Grandpa. Listen. When she hung out with him for a month. When we had the downtime, she was like in his shop every day.
Bullying him.
Well, yes, but still. She shared gossip. I have this friend, Captain Belladonna, and her ship's broken down, and we're mending the cylinder that holds the magic that powers the ship. But we need to put more magic in it. What would work?
Silence, 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 and then just. This is going to be juicy. One, you're lucky you're cute, because I hate being called that. Secondly, anything of significant power should work, as long as it's not a copy of two of the same spell. You should be good.
So I could just cast a spell into it and it would power it? Or should we use something like a magical item?
Both could work, at least for the short term, incredibly short term.
Okay, and Captain Belladonna wants a favor. I'm supposed to say it's for me, but it's really from her. So you can use it as you will. Could she get like an anti-magic field built for around their engine room so that pulses of magic can't break what it broke the first time?
Interesting. Yes, I could most certainly do that. Only if you let Belladonna know that I still remember what happened in Zenri all those years ago.
Okay, will do, and I will have her get in touch with you to get that installed. We're going to Tarkeza to get a cat.
Wonderful to hear from you as always. Tell Naui I love them. Ciao.
He says that we could just cast spells into the container, or we could use a magical item. Captain Belladonna, he says he remembers what happened in, was it Stenray?
Zenri, yeah.
Yeah. But He will be happy to install a anti-magic shell for you, and you can contact him to make those arrangements.
She corked out as soon as you said, "I remember what," and her face just kind of droops, her eyes open. She just kind of goes a little. Damn it.
I'm sorry. I would have kept your name out of it. I didn't mean to put
It's
you in
fine.
a position.
He's never going to let that one go, ever. So that makes sense. That makes total sense. Oh God, I hate his guts. Anyway, that is good to know.
Nawi
Grandpa's
punched.
the nicest grandpa ever.
Nawi hit him right in the face one time. I don't really remember why, but I'm sure there was a reason. If it makes you feel better.
It was because he called the queen a not nice name.
Oh, yes.
I feel like we'd be fast friends if we were under different circumstances. Very well. I very much appreciate you reaching out, and well, that's dealt with a few pressing concerns for me, so I very much appreciate that. Wonderful. You can go ahead and you said you would make food?
Yes, I could make food. Let me see how I do that real quick.
Oh, I was gonna say, has Jacaranda cooked before?
I can
Yes,
News to the entire party.
She's cooked many of wafers and wine. Isn't that what?
That was create food.
Religious food.
Create food and water. Yeah, create food and water. It only takes me no time really at all. Did you need food?
I mean, that'll certainly help keep the morale of the crew up. As I say, we've been traveling for a good few months now, and things have been difficult.
How many people do you have here?
Currently not in the medical bay. Probably close to about
It's gonna be in the
40.
Okay, well, I can make it's 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water. It'll only last for 24 hours, but as long as you eat it before the water will last longer, but the food only lasts for 24 hours.
We're used to using up supplies before they go bad.
Okay. Did you want where would you like this?
Probably just in the mess hall upstairs would be the easiest. I can go ahead and sort out all of the organization side of things.
Okay. Should I ask someone where that is?
Upstairs, one floor. Continue all the way towards the front of the ship.
Okay.
Big room, many tables. Can't miss it.
Okay, so I will go up and I will do that, and it's instantaneous, so I will cast it 3 times to make 45 people's worth of food.
Just casually, and feast.
Bland but nourishing.
Yeah. That's
like I
better
said,
than...
plenty of wine and wafers.
Super filling. Yeah.
Yeah, these folks are running low on supplies at this point. They'll take what they can get. Yeah, fantastic. It's gonna take a while for this process to happen. So, Nawi, as you've stepped up outside onto the top deck, how are you? What are you doing here? How are you handling this situation?
I'm getting in the water and looking for a... What do you mean?
Please just like freaking stick your head in the water and just yell.
Hello.
Yeah, I am getting in the water and starting to like swim around and shout for like fish.
Okay, Aquaman, roll me a d20.
I can't make it any more clear.
roll me an animal handling check, actually. Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. How's a 25?
Okay.
Love it.
You certainly find wildlife.
Mhm.
Nothing particularly large in these waters, I'm afraid.
They all tell me that because I'm talking to them.
Oh, you're talking to them. Okay.
Did you forget
cool.
that I could speak to animals and
Yes,
mind link
you
with
have-
them?
You have, Okay.
I'm
Can you go
asking
get the
them.
big guy at the bottom.
Yeah,
and tell him
I'm
come up
asking
here?
them like, hey, where's the? I know there's a, like, there's a hierarchy here. Who's in? Like, where's the big one?
Take me to your leader.
Big one. Okay. I'm gonna say you run into a turtle.
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm
Perfect.
gonna say you run into a turtle. That's
Incredible.
Just kind of like
Where is your great
floating
old
on
uncle?
around. Yeah, you're like, you're like, take me to your leader. And he's like, whoa, not really sure, dude, but
Who are you afraid of
mwah.
down here?
shouldn't say that. Maybe you should be more like gender neutral, shouldn't I? Friend, I'll go with friend. There we go.
Okay, who is your friend that everyone else down here does not want to upset that is very big?
You know, probably my granddad,
Okay,
realistically.
where can I find your granddad?
He's around, you know.
I
and-
don't. That's why I asked you.
Oh well, he's around, you know, and like he's probably kind of just points a fin in a direction. Just I don't know, like 4, 5, 6, 7 days away. I don't know. I don't know. I don't talk to people much, you know.
I can tell.
Like, just chill out.
Do you have anything that can help me with the situation I explained that you don't know? Can you get your grandfather or someone that can
Oh,
possibly help move the ship?
roll me a persuasion check.
Hot shit. 19.
You know, just because you're polite, I'll go have a chat with him and see what I can do.
Thank you.
It's back a month later because he said it's 7 days away.
He's
am
gonna
now
catch the waves. He's gonna go so fast. Those currents.
I am now a bright scale of the Verdant Vale. Please, if you could make haste, that would be very helpful.
Are we bright scale?
Yes.
Of
To be
the verdant veil.
What is your grandfather's name?
Sheldon? I don't know.
Alden.
That was the first thing that came to
I
mind.
love it.
Perfect. Do you mind if I use some magic to help you?
This is what happens when everyone in the party can speak with animals.
I don't know how you're not playing for this at this point.
Ray, I've got something to tell you. I too can speak with animals. I just haven't used it yet.
Like, you need just I can't stress enough. We're
Animal
gonna do
names.
it. It's
at
such
the
a
ready.
good way to solve an issue because no one pays attention to the birds during the murder. Like, no one cares. Oh, a bird saw it. I don't like. They know
It
everything.
was the hamster. It's that episode of
Black Mirror. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was gonna say. That Black Mirror episode. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Anyway,
God,
I
this
ask if
show's
they
gone.
mind if I can use some magic to help them out.
Sure. Why not?
Perfect. I cast Animal Messenger on them with the message to like deliver what I just said, and now they are compelled to go deliver this message to the best of their ability. They will cover up to 50 miles per 24 hours to deliver this message.
Neat. Alright, I'll catch you later, Nawi.
Thank you.
Sweet. Like, just breaks away.
I swear
Yes,
to God.
every turtle is a stoner. Sweet. Cool. Okay. With
Well, it is called
Nawi-
seaweed.
Psychic
And with
damage.
And with that,
Love it.
with a turtle wandering off, with Dawan making what repairs they can, Jacaranda giving some much needed reprise for the crew here, and Mara finishing up their communications with Carter. Seems like a good time to go ahead and wrap up the episode here on a terrible, terrible pun. Two terrible puns. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, so let's go round the horn here real quick and just let people plug what they want to plug. Say, hey, who the heck are you? And where the heck can we find you? So, yeah, let's start off with Melissa.
Hi, I am Melissa, also known as So Much Geek, SEW Much Geek, and you can check me out on Twitter and whatever I do that warrants announcing will be announced there.
Brill. Awesome.
Hey, I'm Austin. You can find me on Twitter at Austin. It's at Siller SCT Austin. I am a game and narrative designer, podcaster, performer, King of the Hill fan. You can find most of what I'm currently up to over on Twitter. I am in stuff every week between here and other channels and my own podcast. So hit me up on Twitter. See what I got going on.
Jesse.
Hello, I'm Jessie Jehousnis on the interwebs. I do art things like this overlay and these backgrounds and the art in that corner of just everything that you see here. And you can see other art stuff on my Twitter when I remember to post it. Yes, that's it. That's all I'm doing. And this and art.
Rochelle.
Hey, I'm Rochelle, Dragon Gem here on Twitch, the Dragon Gem on Twitter. I stream on my own channel a bunch of puzzle games, but tomorrow I will be streaming on D&D Beyond, playing in a Jasper's. Sorry, brain just. Anyway, charity stream tomorrow.
Game day.
I'll be playing game day. That's the words. Jasper's game day with Amy Dallon's DM and Christina Ariel's there. Travis McElroy's there. Lee Goldberg will be making up pancakes, so that's exciting. So that's tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. So you should head on over to D&D Beyond and come watch.
Fantastic. as always, support all of these wonderful people in all that they do. Go ahead and check out their stuff. Hi, I'm Ray. I don't know why I get pause every time there, as if I am having an existential crisis, but here we are. Hi, I'm Ray. You can find me over at Red Mage Ray on Twitter. Most of the stuff I do is there when I'm doing stuff. I have things that are happening in the background mostly that are like this close to actually being sorted. So that's me in perpetual, like, maybe for the next 6 months of a time. But yeah, we're also doing a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes for Friends Who Roll Dice. We have like 5 different projects that are soon approaching the point where we can actually go ahead and get hype for them. We are incredibly thrilled about all the amazing people we're working with. So yeah, it's mostly just watch this space at the moment. Go ahead and follow us on our socials as well at Friends Roll Dice for all of the upcoming cast announcements. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. It is an absolute pleasure as always. I love playing with these people, and fingers crossed we should have an Izzy debut next week, which is going to be very, very exciting. But yeah, we're going to send the love that you've sent us elsewhere. Thank you so much. Stay well, stay medicated, stay hydrated. Please wear your bloody masks and keep moving forward. We'll go ahead and see you all next time. Goodbye now.